Hello to my КИБЕА family in Bulgaria. It's been 30 years that you have been looking for books, purchasing books, translating books, encouraging authors to write books, and then editing the books, and then designing the books, and then putting them together and printing the books, and then delivering the books, and making sure that people are reading information, wisdom, anything from things that make us smile and things that make us cry and things that make us think and things that make us angry and happy and sad. You have been triggering emotions and growth, spirituality in people for 30 years, a whole cycle of Saturn around the sun. So this Saturn that represents karma, that represents understanding in the tree of life, have managed to go around the sun for 30 years that you have been active, working on educating us and making us better people. So I wanted to send you a message from the City of Angels and basically hope that you can carry on for another 30 years and maybe complete 84 years of the cycle of Uranus and maybe complete a cycle of 250 years of Pluto and continue doing the things that you're doing. It was a series of really interesting, strange synchronicities that are encouraged and backed up by genetics, because I remember that the way I managed to get to КИБЕА and then open myself to Bulgaria and slowly get to know so many of you year after year after year. I think it was with, I was with my parents, my father, who was born in Varna, and my mother, and they were both coming to visit me. I was working in Istanbul at that time. And Licia, who is a very good friend of ours, was there, and my father really bonded with her because at last he can speak to somebody who is Bulgarian, and they got really connected. And then my father at the evening said, after I finished work, I was charting there, he told me, you know, that girl from Bulgaria is a really nice girl, you should get to know her. So I said, yeah, I heard that she's a very good therapist. I said, okay. I went and we became friends, of course, instantly. And then she took my book that was then translated to Turkish and brought it to КИБЕА. I didn't know about that. And then one day I get a message from КИБЕА that if I will be kind enough to come to Bulgaria to promote the book. And I said, of course I'll come to Bulgaria. My grandmother, who's also from Varna, always talked about Bulgarians and how they helped them in World War II. And I always felt a bond to Bulgaria. My grandmother and my grandfather and my uncle and my aunt all spoke Bulgarian. My aunt is from Sofia, my uncle, my father, my grandmother are from Varna, my grandfather is from Edirne. So I felt there was a pull towards that part of the world. But, you know, I said, I'll be waiting for people to invite me. Sometimes it's not rude to just walk into a place, especially if you have so much karma to it. So I waited patiently and it happened. And since the moment I came to Sofia, I felt like I was home. And you guys, the readers, the publishers, the translators made it so easy for me to feel that my Bulgarian genes are coming out and helping me connect to where it came from Bulgaria. So I know this year was 2020, a little bit tough. We haven't met in 2020. We haven't seen you in 2020, skipped year, but in 2021, also we already done it in virtually, but in person. I'm sure I'll be back to Sofia as I have been twice a year for the last more than 10 years. One time I even demonstrated in one of the demonstrations, and that's why I got this flag that is always with me in my office. So it's always a reminder of where half of me came from and where I need to go twice a year. So again, thank you very much for making me part of your team. And I wish you an amazing continuation of discovering wisdom and spreading it to everywhere you go. Thank you, and I will see you soon.